Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm glad you stopped here today. It's another week and Colourpop has another collection. You know how they do. They release something every week. Literally, they have a new collection out now and I just got this collection and I'm talking about the Orange You Glad. I mean, this palette is so stinking cute. So this palette actually released on July 24th and today is August 2nd. I just got my palette today and I ordered it the day it released. So come on, Colourpop. Sometimes their shipping is slow, sometimes their shipping is fast, but neither here or there. I still love their products, and I'm still here for the new releases, okay? But I just need you to slow down just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit, okay? So we're talking about the Orange You Glad palette today. This is one of their monochromatic palettes in the 9-pan palette series. And then I also got the You're So Appealing Lipistick bundle because I haven't been buying a lot of lipsticks, but I was like, oh, this bundle is cute. So the palette retails for $12 and can be purchased from Colourpop.com. They are in the US. They're based out of Los Angeles, California. Colourpop is cruelty free and their materials are recyclable. However, they are using plastic for these 12-pan palettes. So, you know what they're saying about recycling plastic nowadays, like it's actually not that great for the environment, the plastic. They really can't recycle it because I guess China says that we don't clean our plastics good enough. It's a whole backstory. But this is what the palette looks like. The packaging is super, super cute. And I have actually dipped into the palette already, so if it looks a little dusty, actually it doesn't. I used it one time earlier today. And I'm actually going to insert a look that I actually wore a little bit earlier. I just had to play in the palette a little bit earlier. But then I was like, I need to film this for you all. So I haven't even taken the plastic off of here. So true to form, we have a big mirror here. I'm going to take this plastic off. Okay, so here we go. We pull the plastic off and we have a nice big mirror. I do love how big these mirrors are. It makes it so nice when you travel with these palettes. They're clear. It's an excellent mirror actually for a 9-pan palette that costs $12. Don't know if I mentioned it, but all their palettes in this 9-pan series have been costing $12. Great price point. So we're going to do some swatches and I'm going to do a look for you guys, and I'm going to also demo the 2 lipsticks that I put on. I'm not sure what the look is going to look like and what lipstick I'll go on with, but I will try it out for you, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So the first shade we have is called Zested. The next shade we have is called Squeeze Me. It is a beautiful orange metallic shade. And then the next shade we have is called Creamsicle. Oh, that does not swatch well. Let me try that Creamsicle shade again. Okay. There's Creamsicle. It does come off way more vibrant when I try it on my eyes. Because like I said, I have dipped into the palette once before. Okay, so the next 3 shades we have are Rise and Grind, which is actually not intended for the immediate eye use because of the pigment in it. The next shade we have is Clementine, which is beautiful, but is that chunky glitter, once again, like we saw in the Honey palette. And this is not safe for the eye also, but look at that glitter. That is a beautiful shade. And then we have Sunkissed, which is not intended. These swatches today are terrible. What is... I don't think I've ever had swatches this bad. Whew. This is Sunkissed, and that's also not intended for the eye. Okay, so the last 3 shades we have is Tangerine Dreams, which is a beautiful orange shade. Then we have Mimosa Mommy. Mimosa Mommy is also labeled not safe for the immediate eye use because of the pigment. And then we have You Peel Me. So these are the swatches. And they're really blending in with my arm, so it is really hard to see. I do apologize. But like I said, I have played with these already, so they do come up better on the eyes. So once again, we have 4 shades in this palette that you do have to be careful about because they are not intended for eye use. So if you are sensitive in any way, meaning like if you're really sensitive to like the staining on your eyelids, or if you get any type of swelling, puffiness, or anything like that, you need to be careful when using this palette, because like I said, you have all three of these shades right here are not intended for eye use. But this one right here is because of the glitter particles are so big. Glitter you have to be careful about. Most glitters are not actually intended for the eye use. And then also you have Mimosa Mommy because of the pigment. But the glitters is just such chunky glitters that I would definitely, if you're going to use it on your eye, because it's beautiful. It's like, who can resist a shade like that when you put it in your palette? You definitely put some glitter glue down so it can stay stuck and you don't have to worry about it traveling. Be careful when applying that glitter so it doesn't fall in your eye, okay? So they do have to warn you about that. So Colourpop is not liable for any damage that happens when you place these shadows on your eye, okay? So some of those things you just have to kind of tread at your own risk. So let's go ahead and get into a look. I'm going to bring you guys in closer and then we'll chat about the shadows on the other side. Okay, so I am all zoomed in. So today I'm going to do a little bit different for my primer. I'm actually going to take this Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C3. And I want to test these shadows out with just a lighter base and see what we come up with. Just going to do like a couple dabs of this concealer and blend it out. I'm taking a deluxe crease brush by Real Techniques and I'm going to blend this out. Okay, so now I have my Wayne Goss number 17 brush right here, and I am going to go in with the shade, what do I want to take? I think I want to take, I'm trying to decide if I want to take Rise and Grind or Mimosa Mommy or this shade first. I want to kind of like leave these to kind of blend out. I want to start with the brighter shade first, but I don't know. Okay, let's take Mimosa Mommy because I really want to see how this shade is. I have not used it yet. Let's see. Whew, bright, okay. Blending back and forth, and that shows up pretty well because that is like a neon color. Okay, yeah, look at that. That is neon. And now I'm just going to kind of stamp just to kind of build up that pigment. Stamp and blend out. Yep. I'm not really bringing it into the front corner. Kind of winging it out, bringing it up. Ooh, this color is actually pretty nice, and I think I like it over this white primer. I have like a little piece in my eyelash for this lighter primer. I'm feeling it. When I did my first look, I actually tried it with the Urban Decay primer and caffeine that I always use, and it wasn't like I didn't like it, but I was like, I just want the colors just to pop just a little bit more, and like they did, but you know, I was like, I just want a little bit more. Ooh, that is a bright crease. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my Sonia G brush. This is a Crease Pro. Okay, so I went in with Mimosa Mommy, so now I think I'm going to go in with a little creamsicle to kind of blend out the edges of Mimosa Mommy. And I'm just going to go ahead, blend that out. I can't wait to get my little scraggly eyebrows done. It is messing with the looks. There we go. Ooh. That creamsicle, it really helps blend it out. And it's kind of like a nice little transition shade, or kind of almost skin color shade if you're my complexion. Now on a Sephora crease brush, this is one of those magnetic crease brushes. I'm going to take the shade Ya Peel Me. And it's actually the deepest shade in here. It's more like a burnt orange brown shade, just knocking off the excess. I'm just going to put that right here in this. little outer V area. I'm like, is the shadow falling off? I'm like, what is going on? So this shade gives a little depth so far. Okay, there we go. So it's like at first I don't see it. And I'm just kind of blending in circular motions. Okay, my hair is in the way. And that is pretty, but it doesn't take away too much of the brightness from Mimosa Mommy. But it's just like right there in the corner. Now with a pencil brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Sunkissed, which is right here. And I'm just gonna, this is like a hot Cheeto shade. Do you guys see how bright this is? Wow. And I'm just putting that in the inner corner. Yeah, oh, sorry, this is a Sonia G pencil brush. And I'm just blending that in. Let's see. I'm super salty, so this palette or this collection, the Orange You Glad collection, you know Colourpop has to come out with like so much stuff when they come out with their collections. So I only picked up the palette and like the Lipistick duo. But usually with these collections, a lot of times I've just been picking up the palette. And then I saw, what was it, That Girl Shay EXO. I saw her do her live swatches and I was just like, dang, I really want those Super Shock shadows. So I did kind of turn around and get the Super Shock shadows. So they're on the way. And then I got 2 of the Jelly Mush shadows from the Strawberry collection. But right now I'm going to go in with the shade called Tangerine Dreams, okay? And I'm going to put this on that part of the eye right there. Oh, do you see that? That's not even wet. So pretty. And I'm just packing this on. This is like my little Tarte synthetic brush. Came from like, I'm pretty sure like a unicorn collection. But it's just such a good brush for my shimmers. It's just like a brush I never used. And then you know how you pick up a brush that you haven't been using and you're like, where has this been my whole entire life? Why haven't I been using this brush? So taking my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. It doesn't need to be wet. I got a little fallout, but I'm gonna mist it. So just so I can show you guys that intense payoff. Look at that. Ooh. I just wiped off my brush, keeping the same brush, going in with Squeeze Me. Squeeze Me is right here, this pretty orange, light orange shade. I'm like, even though Tangerine Dreams kind of looks like a metallic Cheeto color, I'm like, it's still so pretty. And I'm just gonna put this on the inner corner. I'm just gonna fuse that together. Almost, it's like when you put the 2 shades together, it's like, it's kind of no difference. Does that make sense? This is kind of like a sunset eye, but not a sunset eye. I mean, not a halo eye, but a halo eye. Does that make sense? Going back with that same Wave Gloss 17, I'm just gonna go ahead and just blending that out. Making sure that shimmer doesn't look so stark right there. I know I talk so much stuff in my Honey palette about how I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna try it, okay? I am going to take my NYX Glitter Primer, and this is actually a Colourpop, just regular Colourpop brush. It's a flat brush, so it's actually good for like glitter glues and things like that. This brush is like one of their first brushes to come out with. I'm just gonna pat a little right there. Can't help myself. I can't. Okay. Now I'm just gonna flip the brush over. Let's see. Going in with Clementine. So that's the glitter. Let's see. I'm gonna pick it up very carefully. Ooh, these chunks are like big. Colourpop should be ashamed of themselves because Colourpop should be ashamed of itself only because, like, what is it, in the California Love palette, the glitter is not big like this. And then in, what's the palette? I'm just taking it with my finger. I think that'll come out better. The California Love palette, the Yes Please palette, there are 2 glitters in there. And those chunks are not big. But damn. Like, this is pretty. I don't have you guys as close as I usually do today. Forgive me. It's like usually y'all are up in my eyeballs. I like it like that so y'all can see what's going on. Okay, so that glitter, it's pretty. I'm not even gonna front. Okay, but I feel like when I added the glitter, I kind of messed up the shimmer shadow. So let me go ahead and fix that. Same Tarte brush, going back in with Tangerine Dreams right there. It's like what happened there. That is pretty. So I'll be back. I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back so we can try out the lip combos. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna do my other eye and we're gonna, you know, demo the lip. No. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna do my other eye and we're gonna demo the lippy sticks. Yeah, the lippy sticks, that's what they're called. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna do my other eye and we're gonna demo the lippy sticks. Let's go ahead and try out the lip bundle. This is the You're So Appealing lip bundle. Retails again for $10. So it's 2 shades in here. It's Parker and I wanna say the other shade is called Chi Chi. So let's see. Let's go with Parker first. This is Parker, described as a matte shade. Looks like this. Let's see if you can see a little bit better. This is definitely a nude shade. Okay, it's a nice color, but let's rub it in. We're definitely gonna have to take a lip liner because that ain't gonna fly by itself. So this is Parker. Don't have it on all the way proper. I'm gonna go ahead and add in, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my lip liner around the corners. This is Chestnut by MAC, till we get that blended. It's a pretty color. On me, it's light, so when I saw the swatches on everybody else, of course, a different complexion of mine, it definitely looked browner. It's not terrible. But let's see. It is like a nice, pretty nude, so I would wear it. And I would probably top a little gloss over it. Okay, so I wiped Parker off and now I'm going to go in with Chi Chi. I really hope this color looks good on me because I was super excited about receiving this color. This is Chi Chi. Kind of like matches the shade of my nails. Go ahead and apply this. I think they actually do have a Chi Chi lip liner, but I don't think I own it. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, and Chi Chi is a matte also. Okay. It's orange. Woo! Oh boy, it is definitely bright on me. Okay, let's add a little lip liner into it. We're not done. We gotta finesse it. Okay, let's finesse it. Chestnut again. Okay, I checked. I don't have a lip liner that matches Chi Chi. Okay, I'm gonna take like 2 things. So I have this lip liner by MAC called High Energy, and it's an orange lip liner. So that's Chi Chi with just that liner. That's like almost really the same color as High Energy. Going in with a little MAC. Chestnut, and we're gonna have to blend, honey. This is like one of these situations, like if you put it on before, like I don't like how you can see my lines. I probably need to do like a little prep just so it's like a smooth It's just like you just see the natural lines of my lips. I have orange lipsticks, but I don't know, y'all. I am not really feeling Chi-Chi. Oh, man. Okay, let's put Parker back on and let's wrap up with the final thoughts of this video. Okay, so I put Parker back on. Let's go ahead and talk about the palette. And I also brought out the Soul palette in case you're curious about some comparisons with this palette. See, I have glitter. And that's from that Dang On Clementine shade. Okay, so let's talk about the palette. The Orange You Glad. So overall, I think the palette is really beautiful. I really like my eyeshadow look. I like the look that I got today. But then I was kind of looking at the eyeshadow look I did earlier, and I'll like reinsert a picture here. I was just like, this look that I did, I could have did it with all the palettes that I have. I was like, what is so special about it? I was like really just trying to like have like this honest conversation with myself. Like, okay, girl, you got a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Like, is this stand out enough or not? But overall, I love the shade Tangerine Dreams, and I love Mimosa Mommy. I think Mimosa Mommy does stand out in my collection only because that is such a hot neon shade. And then You Peel Me, I do like it, but I just wish it was like a little bit rich or deeper in pigment, okay? But I know they don't want to go too dark because they want to kind of keep the overall theme of the palette. For me, Squeeze Me was a shade that once you put it next to Tangerine Dreams, because it kind of takes over. And it looks like the same shade on your eye. Like, you really don't see a difference. Like, you don't see a gradient. Like, oh, there's a lighter shimmer, there's a darker shimmer. You just don't get that. The only shade that I have not used in this palette at this point is Zested. But it's just kind of like a really peachy washed out shade. So I'm not sure if that's really a shade that will look nice on my complexion. But Creamsicle I did enjoy. I used it twice. I used it once as a transition shade, and then I did use it again to blend out Mimosa Mommy when we did this tutorial. Overall, I feel like the shades are really pigmented. I feel like the palette is beautiful. I do love the color Clementine, but if they could have made this into a standout shimmer, even if they had did a Super Shock shadow, and this particular color, that would have been bomb, okay? Because we all know like Super Shock shadows can definitely take on those shifts. Colourpop can do that. So I did put the glitter on my eyes, and I feel like it's fine, but I don't feel like this big type of glitter does the eye look any type of justice. So even though I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it on here, it's so pretty, like, but because some of the particles are just so big, it's just like splots of glitter in some area. Like, some pieces are finely milled, and then you have the pieces that are bigger. It's just not a glitter that really should have been putting on the eye. And I know, I think like the new palette they're coming out with, Strawberry Jeans, does not have that glitter in there. So I don't know if they've like kind of gotten a hint like maybe we should back off of that for the moment. But I just don't understand like why they couldn't put a finely milled glitter in there. So like to just kind of bring that point home, I pulled out the Sweet Talk palette. So the Sweet Talk palette was like one of the first palettes for Colourpop where they had like different formulations. They have pressed glitters, they have a Super Shock shadow in there, and I'm not opposed to the glitters in the eyeshadow. I'm just saying that this particular glitter, the way they milled it, or it's probably, if we do our research, it's probably one of those glitters, because I know Honey was like a repeat shade, like when they released all those glitters and they threw it in the palette with that were intended for your body. So if you pull out the Sweet Talk palette, we have the glitter here. So this glitter here is kind of similar, and this glitter, I have worn it on my eyes, and it has like a sticky kind of formulation where it's a pressed glitter, but you can put on a glitter glue and definitely help it stay, or you could just kind of pat it on and it stays. But look how finely milled that glitter is. It's almost like the same shade as the Clementine, so really missing out about it. So that is the one that's in the Sweet Talk palette. That is called Early Morning, and that is my favorite glitter in that palette. But if you look at my finger, because glitters they just don't swatch very well, but if you look at my finger, you can definitely see how that looks. Now if I go ahead and take this shade Clementine, like immediately, this is Clementine, you can see like the big particles of glitter just jumping out at you, and I just don't feel like that does the look any justice. Like, the colors are beautiful, but those big specks are like, it just doesn't lay on my eye right. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, like I kind of almost messed up my look by adding that. Like it's pretty, but I think if I just want a glitter and I just want to press glitter, I'll reach into my Sweet Talk palette, because that glitter just suits the eye better, because it's actually formulated for the eye. It's a glitter that's just supposed to put on the eye versus a big old chunky glitter. And it's just like, it's just like sitting on your eye, it's about to pop off. So I'm really not feeling that. So I'm glad I got a chance to like test it out and figure out that I'm not really feeling that. So I would kind of know that when I'm thinking about the Honey palette also. So overall, I think the palette is really, really pretty. And I think the orange cohesive thing is beautiful. It almost reminds me of like maybe another version of the Huda Beauty Neon Orange palette, but maybe more affordable, but done better, because this shade right here, Sunkissed, is super bright. Mimosa Mommy is super bright. And then you have the beautiful shimmers. The only shade to me that's just like a dud is Clementine, which is a shame, because look at that reflect. I mean, they just made that a super shock. That would have been wonderful. I would have just been like, yes, give it to me. So I did pull out the Soul palette because it's a lot of comparisons in this palette. And to me, I was just like, oh, I wish when I was doing my makeup, I was like, okay, I have Tangerine Dreams, which is the one down here at the bottom. But I wish I had like a brighter orange. And I was like, well, then they definitely couldn't do that because of the Soul palette. The Soul palette definitely has those darker metallic shades in there, like this shade. Well, this one doesn't have the shades named in the front. This is the first edition. If you're wondering, they have redone the packaging that actually matches this, or it's a little bit different shade of this, so it actually looks like it's almost two orange palettes, but this is the first time it came out. So this is the shade Anthem right here. It's definitely a dark shimmer that's not in that palette. Then you have the shade Motel, which is almost like a shimmer version of Mimosa Mommy. That's a beautiful shade, and that shade is also not intended for eye use because of the pigment. And then you have Ooh. So I think definitely like the this is Ooh. Okay, so I wonder, like Ooh is don't let me drop these. It's like, please don't drop. Okay, so Ooh is definitely a Cheeto-y color too. Like these swatches on my complexion at the moment, it's just not gonna look that great. I have a serious tan, which I'm good with because I'm loving the color of my skin, but let's keep it real. These shades are not going to show up unless I have some type of primer on. Okay, so Ooh and Mimosa Mommy actually look pretty similar when I look at them. So I don't know, if you have one, I can't necessarily say like you need both, but what stands out to me in this particular palette is just that the Rise and Grind, and then the Sunkissed, because it's such a bright orange. And then, but Mimosa Mommy looks similar to the other shade, Ooh. And then the shimmers, these two, I'm sure if you scour your palettes hard enough, you have something like it. Overall, I still feel like it's a good buy. We're talking about Colourpop. It's $12. The only problem you run into, like Colourpop releases every week. So if you're buying a release every week, after a while, it's like, this gets expensive, you know? So overall, I do like the palette, but like I can't necessarily say, oh yes, so go out, run and buy it if you have Soul. Like you might not need this one, or if you have a lot of warm orangey shades in your collection, you might not need this at all, because let's be honest, like orange, warm tone shades, brownie oranges was like all the rave like a year and a half ago. So, you know, it is what it is. The Lipsticks, I like bright shades, okay? I like bright shades, but Chi Chi, I don't know, wasn't really my jam. I didn't really like it. The only problem with when you have bright shades like this and the formula is matte, sometimes they just settle in the fine lines, and my lips are hydrated. There is no dead skin on it, so it's not like it's exfoliating. Everybody usually naturally has lines in their lips. So I do know that Colourpop has like a preppy lippy stick where you can like put it on. So it creates kind of like a silicone barrier, and then it's kind of like a primer for your lip. That's exactly what it is. It's a primer for your lips. So when you put on shades like this, you know, you don't get the little the lines running in there. And I find that sometimes with these really bright shades, I don't like that. Like, I wasn't a fan of MAC's Candy Yum Yum for that particular reason. Like, it just sat in the lines of my lips. And for me, that's kind of like, it really turns me off to the lipstick. So Chi Chi, I'm not that fond of. Now, in terms of comfort, for a matte, it was very comfortable. I felt like it was movable. I didn't feel like it was stuck. I felt like I could move it around. And that's the same with Parker. So I don't know if they kind of reformulated some of the matte formulas so they're not as drying. So I do appreciate that. Parker is pretty. I just wish it was a little bit darker. I don't know what I was thinking about when I was looking at it on everybody else, thinking it was going to be that same shade on me, but that's my problem. So, but I feel like it's a very pretty matte, and I could definitely wear it with a lip liner, throw a gloss over it. Not throw a gloss over it, it's cool. So I don't feel like I'm at a total loss for my money with the liners, but I am definitely upset with Chi Chi because I just like, yes, I was like, I'm going to be wearing it. It's going to be cute, but it's neither here or there. So let me know what you guys think about this collection. I do have, like I said, I'm super salty. I do have those the Super Shock shadows coming, and I think those are going to be bomb. I think the colors in there, I'm like, yes. Let me know down below what you guys think about the collection. Are you going to pick it up or not? One of my subscribers, I can't think of her name right now, forgive me, but I'll put her name on the screen. I was like, what do you think is going to be the next monochromatic palette when I did my Honey video? And she was like, I would love to see an orange palette. And I wrote back to her, I was like, girl, you're in luck. We have an orange palette. So I know right now we have Strawberry Dream. So I'm not sure what Colourpop has behind their wheel. I'm sure we'll know in a week, few days, by the time this video hits the tube. So we shall see. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up and let me know what you guys think about the collection. And I will see you guys later. And I have another video coming for you very, very soon. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. That's the chair dance, y'all.